Hey, greetings folks. Larry here and welcome back to my pen review. Peace and love. Alright, I want to talk a little bit about a pen that's been out probably, 2019 maybe. It's a pen that we all know, but there may be a few thousand of us that don't know because there could be brand new folks in the fountain pen world that have yet to hear or see the pen. But if you have, let's hear it again. I've been debating for a long time about the Kaweco Liliput. And why? Well, because it doesn't have a clip. You know that thing about clips. And it's so small. Well, I finally said, you know what? I'm never going to know how this pen actually writes. How it's actually going to feel in my hand until I buy the pen and do the review. So I did that. Now, what led me to buy the Liliput was this pen. I purchased from Gold Spot Pen. And the reason why, well, first of all, I like the name Gold Spot that Kaweco put on it. And this has a double broad nib that I just fell in love with the double broad nib of Kaweco. I don't always fall in love with a broad or a broad nib. It just depends on the nib itself. I'm very choosy, okay? And that's how I am. And this pen, and like this pen, does not come with a clip. So, what I did was, when I had this pen, I went ahead and got a clip for the Kaweco. So that made me a happy camper. Now, what's really weird is, I seldom put that in my pocket. But when I'm due, that's handy to have. But I usually just put it in my pocket because I forget I have my clip. Oh well, life goes on. So, let's go ahead and open the box. It comes in a cardboard sleeve. It says Kaweco, really nicely done on the box. You can't miss it with the stick. Kaweco, their logo. Okay? And beautiful tin box. I really like the presentation of Kaweco in this box. It just stands out the way it's done. Really nicely done. Super nicely done. Like the colors involved. I like how this pen kind of stands up on the front of the case. And how the letters of Kaweco feel on top of this tin case. And on the back it has Kaweco. And it's in German. From Germany, of course. So let's open her up and see what's inside. Alright, well, you're going to get a Kaweco sticker. For those of you who are into stickers, you get a sticker. Well, that's worth $100. And then, of course, you get the Kaweco information in German and English and blah, blah, blah. So there, okay? So now you're an expert on Kaweco, kidding you. And then it comes with a little plastic pen sleeve that I took out because I just had to have it in my hands. So I kind of cheated, but not big, just a little cheat. But anyway, it comes in here. This is kind of plastic or some kind of velvet or some kind of rubber padding in it. And that's it. So. And the cases are cool. You can put all kinds of cool stuff in it. Make it your gadget box or whatever you want to do with it. Put nibs in it, pens in it, ink cartridges in it, whatever. So, let's put these little jewels aside here. First of all, you might want to see how the clip fits on this Liliput. Bang. Okay. You got that? So, it's not going to fit. Why? Well, obviously it's too skinny, right? Right. Very good. Isn't that right, Mr. Announcer?
Oh, yes.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. So, let's talk about this little jewel right here. We can get a good close-up shot here. It does have Kaweco and Liliput, Germany. It has on the back. Yep. So you got all that good stuff, and then you got the Kaweco logo here on top. Okay, you got that? Okay, good. Here we go. I chose the black, and the nib is the EB, which I'll get to in a minute. It's made of solid aluminum. It's only 97 ml long, millimeters, if you say, when closed, as you see it right here. The Liliput is one of the smallest fountain pens for standard ink cartridge with a steel nib size BB. You first heard me say the EB, now you hear me say the BB. So which is it? Well, we'll show you in a minute. So here's the Kaweco Sport, and you can see how large this Kaweco Sport is to the Liliput. So what are the features of the Liliput? Well, the Liliput, they say, is one of the smallest fountain pens, and I believe that for standard ink cartridges. So I do not believe this will be able to take a converter just standard ink cartridges. And the nib size, now you heard EB, then you heard BB on the nib. Well, BB is for a double broad nib, and EB is also for a double broad nib, how I read it here. Kaweco, and the weight of this pen weighs in at 7 ounces. And the dimensions of this little pen is 5 by 1 by 1 inch, just blah, 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 small, little, tiny pen. Just what's going to make this pen pop is going to be the nib. So that's about it on that. And you know, the history of Kaweco started at what, 1883? Long time ago. In Hildenberg. Dip Pen Factory. Very interesting. And let's see, the year of birth of the Kaweco Sport was 1911. Interesting again. It's interesting to read the history about the fountain pens, where they began, how they got started, the reason who started them, how well they did. So, let's open this little jewel up and play with it a little bit. Obviously, you can't write like that. That would be uncomfortable, to say the least. So let's unscrew it. Set that cap right there. And let's just look at this little bitty tiny fountain pen. Woo. And there's really not much of a step off and not a whole lot of section there. So if you were to use it without the cap, good luck. You may get away with it a little bit. I have small hands. If you have big size hands to gorilla giant hands, forget it. It's got a real small nib. See if you can get a real close-up of that tip of the nib. It's got a nice little tip on that nib, which I like. And let's unscrew it to show you what's inside. Bam! That's the cartridge I was telling you about. Now this is the blue ink. I have some black ink cartridges, but let's just go ahead and use this one up. I don't really like the Kaweco blue ink myself, but I've never used the Kaweco blue ink in a double broad nib.
And I'm assuming there's not a converter that would fit that?
Not that I know of. Now, I have not really checked in depth to see if it is, but a little later down the road, I might try that Monteverdi, the small one, to see if it does. And let me see if I have one in here, just to see. Okay, this is the Kaweco right here, converter. Now, that one will hold it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just because I can, let's just do this while we're getting all this ready here. Let's just see if all this would work. No, that's not going to work. It will fit in the barrel, but it's not going to fit inside the grip section to the where the converter would actually go into. So we better stick with this. So now we know this won't work. It fit in the barrel, but it won't fit in the grip section going on down. So, oh well, we tried, but now we know, right? See how easy that fits in there? Perfect fit. All right. Well, and I do like the converters a lot myself. No, they don't hold a lot of ink, but I still like it. So let's see if I got any ink going on here. Let's work that ink in a little bit. Get it started. What a day. And don't leave the farm. Okay, here we go. Started up pretty quick. I did have to give it a few little squeezes to get that ink down to the feed into the nib section, but it did the trick. It works. I'm a happy camper. Everyone's a happy camper. So with that said, let's pull out the notebook and see if I have some Tomo River paper left in here to use up, because I want to use it all up. All right, here we go. So let's see how this double broad nib works. I was really impressed with the double broad on this one. Really impressed. Now we're going to see the test, how it posts on the pen. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Right down at the end of the barrel is a little section that kind of protrudes out the end that has some place where you can screw it on. So it goes on like that. And there you go. Now you have a bigger pen, a real thin pen to use. Let's see how the Kaweco writes, my friends. Kaweco. All right. All right, here we go. Nice smooth nib. It's wet. Has some really good ink flow. Downstroke, cross stroke, reverse writing. You can, but I just don't feel comfortable in doing that. I don't want the tip to kind of cut into the paper. It will write, but not with, don't put a lot of pressure. This is just hardly any pressure at all on reverse writing. I'm going to stick to regular writing. So, let's check for wetness. And the pen, of course, lays down the ink nice and wet. And with the double broad nib, the Kaweco blue ink looks more appealing to my eyes than when I use a medium or a fine or even an extra fine nib. I just like the way it writes. So, pretty cool pen, eh? So, what are my honest thoughts about the pen? Well, the good and the bad. It can be a bit slippery, so you want to take that in consideration. And you'll have to have it post. And as far as I know, there's not a converter that fits it that I know of. Maybe somebody else has found one. There's no clip, and the thing is tiny. So, the good. It's a nice aluminum pen, lightweight. It does use standard cartridges. It does post well, and with it post, and only with it post, that you can still use the pen functionally in your hands. Quick notes, maybe a letter. It just depends upon to the individual how comfortable they are using this size of pen to write with.
Does the lid fit on it securely enough that you could carry it in your pants pocket?
Yes, oh yes, I'm going to get to that one right there next. So this kind of pen, you can throw it in your jeans, your pocket, you can throw it in your purse, your bag, and it's going to hold up well. The pen is nice, the cap is nice and secure on it. So those are the good things about it. They're not an expensive pen. They're not the newest model that's out. So, would I get the newer model? I don't know yet. It took me some years to get this one. So, the other ones that are out, I think I paid like, I don't know, $40, 39, I don't remember. The newer ones are like 120 and up, I think. You want to ask yourself, the question is, do you want to pay $120 for the newest Kaweco that's larger? I forgot what they're called. They're longer. I think they have a little bit more girth on them. They look great. They look fantastic. They write great. Well, that would be entirely up to you. I know if you're a Kaweco fan, you would be into it, because that's what the fans do. If they like certain models of pens and they collect them, they're going to pop and say, hey, I want that pen. But you know, every pen that is not made for everyone. There could be something in a pen that a person could dislike. It could be the grip section. It could be the chrome. If it's in the grip section, it could be too slippery. It could be a chrome pen. It could be too slippery. It could be the nib. Whatever. So remember, it's up to you to really do your homework and find out, is this the right pen for you? I think it's a cool little pen. Am I glad I got it? Yeah, I'm glad I got it. Am I gonna get the new one? That I'm not sure of. That has to do some heavy, heavy thinking. So, my friends, with that said, I hope you enjoyed the Kaweco review. I gave you all I got this time, baby. It was all good for me because it's a lot of love, a lot of peace, and a lot of rock and roll going your way. So, follow the rules and don't be a moron. I like that. You know who says that? Judge Rinder. I love watching Judge Rinder. He's a pretty cool judge. Anyway, wash your hands. It's not going to kill you. And as always, please, seriously now, on a serious note, don't text and drive. You know why? Every day, I see people on their phone while they're driving, texting. Seriously, this is serious. And they run red lights continuously. They run stop signs continuously. I don't get it. What's so important you're going to risk your life or somebody else's life to text on the phone? If you have to text on the phone, my brothers and sisters, pull over to the side to your texting. Let the party know that you're on the road right now, that you will get to them when you arrive at your destination. That's what I do. Okay? I'm just want to keep you and other people alive. That's my goal. That's why I always say don't text and drive. It's not a joke. It's serious. Definitely serious. I've seen so many accidents, people texting. I've seen bad accidents, people texting. Yep. So, that's it, folks. I'm going to leave you for a little while, but I'm going to be back very, very soon. Peace, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for digging my channel. Spread the word. Larry's Fountain Pens rocks later.